On News Hour tonight, federal government summons PENGASSAN, Dangote Over Fresh Disagreement. Resident doctors give federal government fresh ultimatum over unmet demands. Bayelsa government arrest violators for improper waste disposal. And on the foreign scene, ECOWAS Parliament adopts over 19 million units of account for 2026 budget. Hello, good evening, and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I am Dorcas Yakubuzala. And the federal government has summoned the leadership of Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASSAN, and the management of Dangote Refinery to an emergency meeting over ongoing rift between the door. The government also urged PENGASSAN members nationwide to reconsider its proposed strike starting Monday over its dispute with Dangote Refinery, saying the plan, if enforced, will take great toll on the economy. Patience Onu Obia, the spokesperson of the ministry, who conveyed the Minister of Labour and Employment, Megari Dingeti's message to journalists on Sunday, said the meeting will be held at the ministry's headquarters. The rift between Dangote Refinery and PENGASSAN reached pinnacle on Sunday when the union directed all its members to withdraw their services on Monday over the sack of at least 800 members of the union. The Trade Union Congress, TUC, on Sunday placed its members on strike notice over what it described as, quote, anti-worker policies at the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. In a statement signed by its General Secretary, Nuhu Toro, the TUC condemned the alleged mass sack of workers, describing it as a violation of their right to unionize. The union demanded the immediate reinstatement of the affected staff, a public apology from management, and an independent probe involving the Labour Ministry, International Labour Organization, and other stakeholders. Similarly, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASSAN, has directed its members nationwide to withdraw their services, accusing the refinery of breaching labor laws and International Labour Organization conventions. Labour leaders warned that if the dispute is not resolved, it could disrupt fuel supplies and affect downstream operations nationwide. In other news, medical experts in Gombe have raised concerns over the rising cases of sudden death in the state. To address the issue, they have targeted adults, women, and students with life-saving strategies and first aid training aimed at reducing fatalities during emergencies. Hassan Lawan Koli has more.
Cases of sudden death are becoming an increasing health concern in many communities, largely due to the lack of basic first aid knowledge. Medical professionals warn that if this trend is not urgently addressed, more lives could be lost unnecessarily. To curb the menace, health experts have begun engaging students, particularly women, equipping them with essential knowledge on emergency response and basic first aid techniques.
What we did is demonstration of basic life support and basic daily emergencies that may occur at home. Many of our parents that stay at home don't know what to do when somebody suddenly collapses. So the aim of this training is to teach them how to start the basic life support as an initial rapid response to the patient, like the first part of the resuscitation that we can do at home. We want to do this to women because mostly they are the ones that stay at home and with children. And we also try to see and how to teach them what to do when a child is choking or even an adult is choking.
The training sessions focused on practical steps to take during emergencies, including how to stabilize victims before professional help arrives.
We've seen a lot of, it's not even once or twice or three times, you know. I know even as lay people, most of the time they will tell you that somebody, maybe you are just talking to somebody and then the person will just collapse. Will just fall down now on the ground, and then before they will raise the person is dead. So those are the things that we are talking about. So all this one that will say somebody has died suddenly maybe you've seen the person in the last 5 minutes and then they will tell you that the person has died. So those are the things we call it cardiac arrest. You understand? Somebody will just fall down before you know it, the person will die. So if the person falls down, those are the times where this emergency things will be done to the person.
Students who participated in the training expressed excitement, saying the experience had not only empowered them, but also boosted their confidence to act in emergency situations.
We are very happy about this training. It has opened our eyes to how we can save lives. We hope more of this program will come so that sudden deaths can be reduced in our community.
Experts emphasize that preventive measures like these, combined with timely medical intervention, are vital in reducing the growing number of sudden deaths in the state. With increasing awareness and proactive effort, it is hoped that such life-saving initiatives will help bring down the alarming rate of sudden deaths in Gombe. Hassan Lonkoli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has issued a 30-day ultimatum to the federal government to address outstanding welfare and policy demands affecting its members. It warned of possible industrial action if the issues remain unresolved. The resolution was contained in a communique signed by the President of the National Association of Resident Doctors, Muhammad Suleiman, Secretary General Shaibu Ibrahim, and Publicity and Social Secretary Abdul Majid Ibrahim at the end of the association's 45th Annual General Meeting, AGM, and Scientific Conference held in Katsina State. The key demands include the immediate payment of accumulated promotion arrears, release of corrected professional allowance tables, reinstatement of 5 sacked doctors at the Federal Teaching Hospital, Lokoja, and urgent action on the long-stalled review of the consolidated medical salary structure. Now, communities along the Maraburg and Karadusama to Katsina Federal Road are demanding the immediate intervention of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to rehabilitate their road. The federal road, which has been in poor condition for over a decade, has been abandoned by many motorists, largely due to its potholes-riddled portions and insecurity. Trust TV's Abdullahi Yamadi reports that the worsening condition of the road is contributing to the escalating insecurity. His report.
The residents described the federal road as a death trap and further exacerbating security challenges ravaging Malumfashi, Kankara, Dusuma, Korfi, and Batagarawa local government areas of Katsina State. Rehabilitation work was earlier started on the 150-kilometer federal road from Marabar Kankara end, which was later abandoned by the contractor after about 10 to 20 kilometers. To make the situation worse, the contractor cleared about 25 to 30 kilometers of the road before abandoning it, subjecting motorists and other road users to untold hardship. Dozens of people lost their lives and properties worth millions of naira destroyed in accidents as a result of poor condition of this road, besides serving as an advantage for bandits who frequently kidnap motorists and other passengers.
And this road started from Zaria to Katsina, and it is a very important road. If this government is really serious about fighting insecurity in Katsina State, so renovating this or completing this project will help them. It's very important in terms of fighting insecurity and economic boost in Katsina State. So completing this road, because it links so many villages and towns, a lot of villages and towns. So completing this project will help to boost the economy in Katsina State and will help to fight insecurity in Katsina State.
Wannan hanya a gaskiya muna cikin halin ula'i.
People of this area, especially those living along the Marabar-Kankara Dusima to Katsina Federal Road, are suffering from insecurity and accidents occasioned by the poor state of this road.
This road
is of paramount importance to the people of the entire Katsina State, not the border local government. The entire community of Katsina State are proud of this road, because we can even call this road as the main entrance to the Katsina State. So we are making our passionate appeal to the federal government to please allow this work to continue. We don't know what happened. The work has started comprehensively, okay, but it was abruptly stopped. So we are making our passionate appeal to the federal government. The law is developed in terms of providing more security to the entire people of Katsina State. This road is playing a very vital role.
The road is not only a link between Marabar Kankara and Katsina, it's also the easiest way to Zamfara and Kaduna states. It also passes through thousands of farming communities producing both food and cash crops, as well as livestock markets, making it one of the major economic links to the northwestern region. In view of that, residents are appealing to the federal government to either re-award the contract or prevail on the initial contractor to return to site with immediate effect. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
In other news, at least 10 people were confirmed dead on Sunday morning following an attack by bandits in Okeode community in Ifelodun local government area of Kwara State, despite government claims that security operatives had repelled the assault. Several residents were also reportedly abducted during the incident. A local vigilante member, identified simply as Ajetu Mobi, said that contrary to official statements, the attack was not thwarted but left devastating consequences. According to him, the casualties included community members identified as Oji, Said Metubi, Bale Ogba Ayo, amongst others. The corpses were taken to the police station while those injured were rushed to the general hospital in Share. He further accused the government of neglecting its responsibility to safeguard lives, despite receiving intelligence about a possible attack days earlier. The Kwara State Police Command is yet to issue an official statement on the incident. Now, the Kogi State Police Command has confirmed rescue of 8 passengers in the state. According to the command spokesperson, William Aya, 12 travelers were abducted along Okene Auchi Road on Friday. He said the victims were traveling in a commuter bus. The command spokesman said the quick intervention of Divisional Police Officer in charge of Okene Division, Nasser Mohammed, in synergy with military and vigilante group, launched a manhunt that led to the rescue of 8 out of the 12 abducted victims, which include the driver of the vehicle. He assured that efforts are still on the way to rescue the remaining 4 victims and possibly apprehend the perpetrators of the heinous act. The Nigerian Navy has dealt a heavy blow to oil thieves in the Niger Delta, shutting down 6 illegal refining sites and seizing more than 11,500 liters of stolen crude oil in a series of operations around Obodo Omadino, Warri Southwest local government area of Delta State. The raids conducted by personnel of Forward Operating Base Escravos under Operation Delta Sanity 2 also led to the recovery of 52 dugout pits, 7 polythene sacks filled with stolen product, a pumping machine, and 22 yards of hose used in the illicit trade. Between 3rd and 24th September 2025, naval operatives launched 4 separate offensives, dismantling camps used by vandals to process stolen crude oil. The heaviest haul came on 24th September when troops uncovered 3,950 liters of crude at one refining site. The Navy said the operation was guided by credible intelligence and executed in line with the directives of the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, who has repeatedly warned economic saboteurs that the days of crude oil theft are numbered. The Nigerian police force has begun a nationwide manhunt after one of its official vehicles vanished from the force headquarters in Abuja, sparking concerns over internal security breaches. The missing vehicle, a Toyota Buffalo Land Cruiser with registration number NPF 5594D, was reported stolen on July 28, 2025, according to an internal wireless memo circulated by the Commissioner of Police, DFA Katsina Command, and relayed from the Force Criminal Investigation Department, FCID. The SUV assigned to the Department of Operations at the Force Headquarters, Louis Edet House, was discovered missing after it was allegedly removed from the official parking lot. A police signal obtained by reporters confirmed the development, stating that following the report, all area command, divisional police officers, and tactical formations across Nigeria have been ordered to remain on high alert and to treat the matter as very important. Security agencies have also been instructed to immediately report any leads that could aid in recovering the vehicle. And now on a sad note, the family of a 24-year-old Islamic cleric, Salim Usman, has accused the police of torture leading to his death while in custody at the Kano State Criminal Investigation Department, CID. Usman, the Imam of Kuntal in Gwale local government area, was arrested as his resident in the afforestation area of Kuntal around 7 p.m. on Monday, shortly after leading the Maghrib prayer. Police reportedly linked him to a bag of flour allegedly stolen last year, claiming another suspect had named him as the buyer. CCTV footage allegedly captured two officers, one in uniform and another in plain clothes, beating the cleric before taking him away. Neighbors said the assault continued at the station until his death later that night. Residents who followed Usman to the station to protest his arrest were also allegedly beaten and detained. A family member, Jamilu Haruna, said the incident had left the community in grief, describing Usman's death as unjust. Now, two suspected drug kingpins, Victor Nwosa and Felix Chika Obiegbu, have been arrested by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency's Special Operations Unit. NDLEA spokesman Femi Babafemi said the arrest followed the recovery of consignments of cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine being prepared for export to Europe and beyond from their Lagos homes after weeks of intelligence and surveillance on their criminal networks. 64-year-old Nwosa parades himself as a successful textile merchant, while 49-year-old Obiegbu is known as a wine distribution businessman. However, NDLEA operatives unearthed their hidden illicit drug businesses after months of intelligence gathering on the two syndicates they led. NDLEA operatives who had put the suspects under surveillance swooped on them in different parts of Lagos as they were preparing their consignments for export. Nwosa was arrested on Wednesday, September 17, 2025, at his 16 Femi Kila Street, Okota home, where kilograms of heroin and grams of cocaine were recovered. NDLEA also recorded success across other states of the Federation. The new Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja, has said he will serve Ibadan land and its people for the rest of his life. Speaking during a Thanksgiving for his coronation held at Church of the Ascension, Bodija, Ibadan, the Olubadan said he will collaborate with government at all levels to ensure that Ibadan and Oyo State at large maintained its pace-setter status. Our correspondent has more details in this report.
Recall that Oba Ladoja, a former senator and former governor of Oyo State, was presented staff and instrument of office as the 44th Olubadan of Ibadan land by Governor Seyi Makinde at the historic Mapo Hall, Ibadan. The monarch, who said he still have a lot of things to do for Ibadan land, described his new roles as a leadership position, adding that his major concern is how peace and development will continue in the city. We are all Olubadan, working together for Ibadan's greatness. I'm honored to lead. I am just the big Olubadan, and with God's grace, we will make a difference. Obaladoja, however, thanked Ibadan people and well-wishers for the support. In his congratulating message, the Archbishop of the Catholic Archdiocese of Ibadan, Most Reverend Gabriel Adigun, who congratulated Obaladoja on his ascension to the throne, described Ladoja's installation as new Olubadan as unfailing providence of God, who preserved the life of the monarch with strength and wisdom.
I'm sure your faith in God will give you strength and comfort. We are sure of the support of not only the ministry of the state, but the support of all who have found Emmanuel. We welcome you all to the place of peace.
I believe the Imperial Majesty, His Majesty, he's a man who will bring peace and unity to the Ibadan land, not just for the Ibadan people. I believe he's a beacon of hope to a lot of Nigerians.
And for what you guys are saying, is a very, very humble man. His humility has no bound. To the young, to the poor, to the rich, to whatever category of human being you can think of. So it's something the people of Ibadan will definitely appreciate. They will say, is a man that can be celebrated now and beyond. All we want to say, we want to wish him long life, prosperity, to be able to carry the people of Ibadan and the people of Nigeria to a greater height.
The cleric hailed Ladoja for commencing his reign with an act of thanksgiving in the house of God, saying the gesture of the new monarch reflecting not only his humility before God, but also deep recognition of his duty of fostering harmony among all faiths.
Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima has implored the African Union to reinvigorate diplomacy as a primary and most effective means of conflict resolution on the African continent. He acknowledged the role played by the AU's peace support operations, a unit designed to maintain, monitor, and build peace in Africa through peacekeeping and peace enforcement missions, observing, however, that the operation comes at a huge financial cost. The Vice President, representing President Bola Tinubu, made the call during a meeting of the AU Peace and Security Council at the level of heads of state and government held on the margins of the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, United States. Addressing the council on behalf of President Tinubu, Vice President Shettima, in a statement by his spokesman, Stanley Nkwacha, noted that with the current UN administration and growing interest by traditional partners in conflicts outside the African continent, it was becoming increasingly difficult for countries to shoulder the total cost of peace support operations on the continent. The Vice President said this was the only way the continent's peace support operations can leave behind resilient and self-sustaining peace infrastructure wherever they find themselves. A federal high court in Abuja will on Monday deliver judgment in the suit filed by the Department of State Services against Professor Pat Utomi over his alleged plan to establish a quote shadow government in Nigeria. The suit was instituted by the DSS, which argued that Utomi's initiative was unconstitutional and posed a threat to national security. The security agency urged the court to declare the move illegal, describing it as a parallel authority not recognized by the 1999 Constitution as amended. The DSS contended that the proposed shadow structure, if allowed, could incite unrest, embolden separatist groups, and destabilize the country's democratic system. It therefore sought a perpetual injunction restraining Utomi, his agents, and associates from pursuing the project. Nigeria's march towards food self-sufficiency is gathering pace as the federal government rolls out fresh measures under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda. The initiative is designed not only to shield farmers from risks, but also to equip them with modern skills and technologies to boost harvests nationwide. The report.
In line with the National Agribusiness Risk Management Framework, The Presidential Food Security Unit has secured an insurance package to caution farmers from losses that often threaten their livelihoods. At the launch of the Harvesting Hope Caravan in Jigawa State, the Executive Secretary of the unit, Marion Moon, said the caravan will tour every part of the country, listening to communities and tailoring projects to meet their real needs.
And what are those key priorities that we can champion within the presidency to fast track, remove any bottlenecks, and really ensure that we are actualizing the promises of the Renewed Hope agenda? What are these priorities? So as a PFSC, we spent about 1 year really talking to different agencies at federal level. We went down to subnational level. And one of the key things that we saw was that when it comes to agriculture or food systems transformation, Your Excellency, that issue will either be won or lost at subnational level.
The Jigawa state government, on its part, announced a massive investment of over $16 million, that's about 94.5 billion naira, in mechanized farming, part of efforts to reposition agriculture as a key driver of economic transformation. Representing Governor Umar Namadi, Deputy Governor Aminu Usman commended stakeholders and partners for joining hands with Jigawa to push forward Nigeria's food security agenda.
It's truly a welcome development, a very laudable and creative idea of stakeholders' engagement for us. It presents a great opportunity and a strong platform for engagement and mobilization of critical stakeholders in our effort to accelerate the momentum of progress toward achieving the most important constitutional obligations.
Recently, the federal government, through the units, is provided insurance cover to farmers across Nigeria on collaboration with subnationals, and an arrangement of payment of the insurance premium on the basis of 1-to-1 ratio.
DG Jatta and stakeholders insist the big picture is clear. The Renewed Hope agenda must be felt at the grassroots, with farmers taking center stage in the nation's food transformation journey.
This is News Hour on Trust TV, coming up after the break. Bayelsa government arrests violators for improper waste disposal. This and many more when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back from the break. In case you just joined in, this is News Hour on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories again. We told you that federal government summons PENGASSAN, Dangote Over Fresh Disagreement. And resident doctors give federal government fresh ultimatum over unmet demands. And moving on to more stories, the federal government has strongly refuted recent allegations by some international platforms and online commentators suggesting that terrorists operating in Nigeria are engaged in a systematic genocide against Christians. In a statement issued on Sunday by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, the government described the claims as false, baseless, despicable, and divisive, insisting that they misrepresent the country's complex security challenges. According to the minister, portraying Nigeria's fight against terrorism as a targeted campaign against a particular religious group oversimplifies the situation and risks fueling division along ethnic and religious lines. Highlighting recent gains in the war against terrorism, the minister revealed that between May 2023 and February 2025, over 13,500 terrorists and criminals were neutralized, while nearly 10,000 hostages were rescued during military operations nationwide. He also confirmed that the top leadership of Ansaru, Nigeria's Al-Qaeda affiliate, was captured last month in a coordinated counter-terrorism operation. Idris emphasized Nigeria's inclusive leadership structure, noting that both Christians and Muslims hold top positions in the armed forces and police. He also underscored Nigeria's global recognition for interfaith peace building, pointing to the recent Commonwealth Peace Prize awarded to Reverend Dr. James Movell Wuye and Imam Dr. Muhammad Nurain Ashafa for their decades-long work in promoting interfaith dialogue. Now, the Fresh Fish Sellers Association in Bauchi have appealed to the state government to expedite action on their relocation to a permanent site to ensure the smooth running of their business activities. The sellers made the call while sharing their experiences amid the prevailing economic hardship affecting the fish trade. Trust TV's Adamu Imam completes the report.
At the Mudalawal market in Bauchi, fresh fish sellers continue to operate under difficult conditions. The chairman of the association told Trust TV, despite their efforts to secure a permanent site, the business is still facing several challenges, including rising costs, limited facilities, and poor condition among stakeholders. He also noted that the lack of understanding of the dynamics of the fresh fish market has further complicated the situation. The current economic situation in the country has seriously affected our business. In addition, there is lack of understanding between us and our partner fish farmers. There is no cooperation. Everyone fixes their own market price. With this kind of disunity, I don't think we can make progress unless we all take responsibility for stabilizing the prices. We once visited this place with officials from the Ministry of Works who showed us the proposed new site where we were supposed to continue our business. But since last year, nothing has been done. We are appealing to the government to revisit the memo that was raised for this purpose, which is now under the Ministry of Livestock, so that we can freely carry out our fish business here. Meanwhile, another section of the trade, roasted fish vendors, say their business is witnessing steady growth, providing opportunities for many young people to earn a living. I have trained many young people here to show that the roasted fish business is truly worth going into. It has a strong value chain where everyone has a role to play for it to succeed. I pray that one day our governor will visit us to see how we are contributing to meeting people's needs. Honestly, we thank God for this business. I grew up watching my father do it, and that gave us a great advantage. Here at Mudalawal Market, we process all kinds of fish for local consumptions and supply to our customers. We are no longer interested in government jobs. They call on their colleagues to remain united and adapt to market realities, emphasizing collaboration is key to sustaining the business for the benefit of all. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Now, residents of Ebis Road in Biobolo, Yenagwa, the Bayelsa state capital, are appealing to the state government to urgently address persistent flooding in their area. They say that even light rainfall is enough to submerge their homes and roads, leaving them stranded and uncomfortable. Some residents reveal that at times they have to pay local canoe operators to access their houses even when it hasn't rained. They are therefore calling on the government to clear canals and open up blocked drainages to ease their suffering. Trust TV's Friday Ibomobowe Peter completes the report.
Residents of Ebis Road flash flood have become a recurring nightmare, disrupting their lives, damaging property, and exposing them to serious health risks. They complain of constant mosquito bites, malaria, diarrhea, and other waterborne diseases caused by stagnant flood water.
Season to season, water no dey reach even 2 blocks. But because of, let's say, the place that the water is moving, people are building house and the government is aware. When they came, they go do. After that time, there's no anybody show face. No, there's no auction. That is why we brought this boat. Going down 100, go inside what, as I'm talking now, just go. All the building, they inside water.
Every year, every night, rain don't fall, we don't pack. Sickness, malaria, mosquitoes have 1 kill us. The mosquitoes they kill us, all was when they start the body. Dirty don't come outside. The children will any year when they bath them. No way. The children they sick any year. So the chemist hospital they work any year. So me and they suffer for water. I dey inside water. My kitchen to my room to all my tenants they don't pack finish. Everybody dey inside water. I need government to help me. Come out from inside this water. Flood and the rain water. Now they suffer us. Every rainy season. Since when they do this road? Now we start to suffer.
As soon as rainfall, we are afraid. Because all the water in this area from Opolo down, all will collect to this place. Simply because the culvert there, the ring they put there is so small and it has been blocked. So water does not flow at all. And all other areas that water has been flowing, they have built houses and other things to block the place. So there is no water does not flow.
Adding his voice, a resident and former chairman of the Environmental Sanitation Authority, Reginald Didi, urged the state government to urgently desilt canals and clear blocked drainages. He attributed the recurring flash flood to poor drainage system and inadequate maintenance.
The rain flooding. The way forward is to open up now. Open up with your, I think, swamp boogie or whatever to the drainage so that the water will not be disturbing the tenant. Me, I'm not having that effect, but my neighbors are highly affected. So if the government can bring swamp boogie to open up, I think it will.
Meanwhile, some children were seen navigating through flooded streets in makeshift canoes, a daily reality for many families in the area. Friday, Ibimobowe Peter, Trust TV News, Yenagoa.
The Bayelsa State Environmental Sanitation Authority on Saturday morning arrested several violators during the monthly sanitation exercise. Some of the defaulters were apprehended in Onopa, Ebis, Biobolo, and Pansai, including tricycle operators for offenses ranging from lack of proper waste disposal facilities to poor environmental hygiene. Authorities say some of the offenders were responsible for releasing offensive orders capable of causing diseases such as malaria and diarrhea, while others failed to clean their surroundings. Again, Trust TV's Friday Ibimobowe Peter completes the report.
Footage shows sanitation officials dismantling illegal structures erected on drainage channels and removing pipes illegally connected for private use. Some violators claim that their situation was due to the absence of toilet facilities in their residences. They blamed landlord for failing to construct soakaways, forcing tenants to rely on makeshift facilities. The paramount ruler of an Nopa community, Tamama Maris, said a meeting will soon be held with landlords to address the issue of proper toilet construction.
Sometimes I go toilet for public place, they pay 15 naira the toilet. One sheet catch me for night. I know if you go pay, because the place go dey lock. I know if you go. That time at the toilet for people. I dey put them for dustbin. I don't know where my wife they go through here because you get dustbin. The landlord say you need toilet. I don't know. And then they see they collect the same amount when they collect.
They told me that there is no toilet. If I can stay, I said, okay, let me manage it. Would they go this side? Would they go inside this one where they build inside village? Now that is where with the toilets.
I am going to work tirelessly to get those things done in the community. There are safety tanks. They should correct it. They should stop putting pipe through from their toilet to the drainage. All those will be corrected in the next last day of the month. As you're building a house, put up a toilet. You can't put up a house without a toilet for the tenants or for you for your own use. It's wrong.
On his part, the chairman of the Environmental Sanitation Authority, Timothy Dekivie, stressed the need for residents to comply with sanitation law to maintain a healthy environment.
In view of the flood alarm raised by NIMES, I will notice that most of the drainages are not being cleaned up. And like you said, residents are fond of disposing waste. Instead of the government provided approved receptacles, they decide or choose to throw it in the public drainages that is supposed to convey the water bodies within the environs to the canals and down to the bigger rivers. We want to upon it also warn landlords. Reason you are putting up a house, especially even for commercial or private, there is no reason why your house should not have toilet, because it's natural that you must go to toilet.
He further directed property owners across Yenagoa metropolis to clear abandoned vehicles, heaps of sand, and shippings from the street within 2 months, warning that failure to comply will force the authority to take enforcement actions. Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News, Yenagoa.
And the people of Azungu in Ogwashi, Uku, and Nyocha South local government area of Delta State have celebrated their age-long Iwu festival with great enthusiasm. The two-day celebration featured a colorful display of cultural heritage by the Ihene, the chief priest and priestesses of the community, with the second day marked by homage-paying rituals. Jonathan Awanyai completes the report.
As host of the traditional event, the Odogu of Ogwashiku, Chief Gabriel Ohai, led hundreds of people in celebrating the Iwu festival. He described the festival as a symbol of peace and unity, while offering prayers for prosperity and harmony in the land.
To our community, it brings unity. It fights against those that threaten peace. It ushers the New Year as well. It's an age-long tradition observed by our ancestors, and it is obligatory unto us to sustain it. That is why we are here.
The festival drew large crowds of both young and old who came out to celebrate and demonstrate their commitment to preserving their cultural heritage.
It's been our festival for years, you know. I so much give thanks to God Almighty. You know, the soil of this town of Washuku, that everything went well. More than we planned. You understand? More than we planned, because all our thought is that God should make this weather very okay for us. But to God be the glory. You know, the weather is very okay, and we are still expecting more of joy and happiness.
In separate interviews, participants stressed the importance of passing on cultural values to the younger generation.
Culture is anybody that doesn't have a culture is dead. This is our heritage, this is our pride, and this is what we are known for.
Stakeholders also used the opportunity to call for unity and peaceful coexistence, reminding the people of their shared heritage and ancestral ties. Jonathan Awanyai, Trust TV News, Asaba.
You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. More news after the break. Many thanks for staying with us. In case you just joined in, this is News Hour on Trust TV. And now in business, the World Bank is set to approve 2 loans totaling $750 million for Nigeria on Tuesday, according to documents published on the bank's official website. The funding is directed towards strengthening health security and expanding climate-resilient digital infrastructure. The package includes $500 million for the Building Resilient Digital Infrastructure for Growth in Nigeria project and $250 million under the Health Security Program in Western and Central Africa, Nigeria, Phase 2. The bridge initiative, led by the Federal Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, is designed to expand broadband access to underserved communities. With an estimated cost of $1.6 billion, the project will be financed by a mix of concessional credits and private investment. Communications and Digital Economy Minister Bosun Tijani described the program as central to Nigeria's digital transformation. The Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) has warned Nigerians to beware of a rising wave of artificial intelligence AI-driven scams that are targeting unsuspecting investors who with promises of guaranteed profits and fake celebrity endorsements. These platforms are not registered or regulated by the SEC, yet they continue to mislead the public with false claims of AI-driven investments. The Commission said in a statement on Sunday that they pose serious risks to investors, hence the Commission issued a series of disclaimers against their activities. The SEC explained that fraudsters were increasingly turning to deep fake videos and AI-generated content to lure victims, pointing that manipulated videos featuring politicians, celebrities, and TV hosts were being shared through Facebook ads, Instagram Reels, and Telegram groups to give fraudulent platforms an air of credibility. SEC said partnerships with the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit were being strengthened to enable data sharing and joint enforcement actions. Now, away from Nigeria, with no outright winner in Seychelles' presidential election, the country will hold a rerun vote between the two main contenders, the Electoral Authority said on Sunday. Opposition figure Patrick Hemini received 48.8% of the vote, while the incumbent Wivo Kalawan garnered 46.4%, according to official results. A candidate needs to win more than 50% of the vote to be declared the winner. The date for the rerun election is yet to be announced. Hemini represents the United Seychelles Party, which dominated politics for decades in the country before losing power 5 years ago. The ECOWAS Parliament has reached a resolution to earmark the sum of 19,630,000 units of account budget for 2026 financial year. The appropriation will fund critical sectors to better the lives of the people of West Africa, particularly on the deployment of artificial intelligence for effective legislation and effective governance. Speaker of the Parliament, Hajia Momentau Ibrahima, made this known in the closing remarks at the end of the 2025 second extraordinary session of the regional legislature in Port Harcourt, Rivers State on Saturday. She stressed that the budget is the engine of the commitment to the people of West Africa. The draft budget was adopted by the members of the ECOWAS Parliament during the plenary. The 2026 budget represents a 5% increase compared to the 2025 fiscal year budget. This reflects an upward adjustment of 939,233 units of account from last year's budget, which stood at 18,996,897 units of account. And in sport, Nigeria's under-20 women's national team sealed a comfortable passage to the next round of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifiers with a commanding 4-0 win over Rwanda on Saturday, completing a 5-0 aggregate triumph in Ibadan. The host wasted no time asserting dominance, opening the scoring through Precious Oscar, who finished neatly after a dazzling run and cutback from Janet Akeke Rowe. Moments later, the lead was doubled in stunning fashion as Fatima Mininu scored directly from a corner in the 20th minute, leaving the Rwandan goalkeeper stranded. The Falconets maintained control after the break, and their persistence paid off when Janet Akeke-Rowe smashed home from long range in the 60th minute to make it 3. Captain Taiwo Afolabi, wearing the iconic number 10 shirt, rounded off the performance with a stoppage time strike to seal the emphatic win in front of the home supporters. Nigeria advanced to the next qualifying round with an aggregate 5-0 victory. They will face either Senegal or Algeria in the next round of qualifiers. And that's a wrap on News Hour. Do not forget to follow us across all social media platforms for more programs, news and documentaries. I am Dorcas Yakubuzala. Good night.